Gents, I just want to pause the episode for a moment to let you know about the Strong Men of Value Academy. You will have heard me refer to it a number of times, and I want to bring more attention to it. So this isn't just a program, it's a life-changing environment and community of men who are focused on personal and professional growth. We're looking at areas of relationships, wealth, and health, things to help you thrive and maximize your life. Imagine having bi-monthly one-on-one coaching sessions with myself, weekly group coaching calls, and an incredible brotherhood of high achievers by your side. Now we're diving into resilience, leadership, and holistic growth to not just succeed in your career, but to thrive in your health and your relationships. Your journey to greatness, it starts here. So join the movement and you can apply for the Strong Men of Value Academy. You can head to themanThatCanProject.com to find out more.
You're listening to the Man That Can Project with Lachie Stuart, a global movement created to empower men and open up what's really going through their minds by having real and raw conversations about life's unique challenges and our individual ways of processing it all. Welcome to the Man That Can Project.
Welcome back, gents. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a absolute ripper of a weekend. My weekend was actually really relaxing. What did I do Saturday? Saturday, I trained, spent a bit of time stretching, sauna, ice bath, all the fun things, a bit of self-care, and then I had a few wines Saturday night, which was awesome. And then yesterday, I took myself down to the beach with a book, did some swimming, read, and just got some sun. It was actually a really awesome way to start the day, and I think something that I, every time I do it, and for those who have also taken time for themselves, you realize how good it is, and it's almost like I'm going to do that every week or at least every month, but let's see how we go. I've scheduled it in again for next Sunday, so I'm going to go enjoy another Sunday and ideally keep that going every fortnight at least, just because it helps you get clarity and direction. But today, gents, what I want to talk about, what I think is a great topic of discussion, and I would love to hear from some of you, gents. Sorry, I got the notifications going on in the background there. Have you ever struggled with low self-worth, right? So not believing you're worthy. And, to me, self-worth, self-esteem is really the opinion or the value you have for yourself. Now, there is a difference between self-worth and self-confidence, and I'll go into that in a later episode this week, which will be cool. But, for me, it came about for me. I actually had my VA go through and download and catalog all of my Facebook posts that I've ever done. And one of the photos that came up was from me back in 2011, 3 weeks after a long-term relationship had ended. And I was struggling, really, really struggling. And when I saw this photo, it took me right back to that moment, right? And I was sitting in the chair. I was excited to get home. We were actually water skiing, but I was excited to get back to the city because I knew I was going to get on the gear that night. And I was hurting, and I didn't know how to cope, how to talk, or anything that really would have helped me through this period of time. And I was with two of my best mates and their family at this point in time. And no one else was drinking. It was a nice family day, but I was drinking because I was trying to be cool, and I was really hurting. I didn't really know how to, ask for help, but I was hoping that, because that was really out of character for me, that people may have known or noticed that I was struggling. It was sort of my way of crying out for help. Now that I look back and, I don't put that on anyone else, it's just realistically, I should have known how to really ask for help, right? Because up until that point, I'd got a lot of my validation from being in that relationship, right? And suddenly when that was removed from my life, like I was saying, I didn't have any proactive ways to cope. So I turned to the drugs, I turned to the alcohol. And while I thought that was working, obviously when something's not working, you continue to do it, you just end up going down the gurgler. And that's ultimately what happened for me. And I really focused on keeping myself as busy as I could to avoid that pain. And for those who have been dumped, lads. Surely there's more than just me out there. For those who have been dumped, it's hard to put into words really what it feels like. It's like a tightness in the chest. It's hard to breathe, but you just feel like your whole world falls apart. And granted, looking back, I wasn't the best partner up until that point, but to have the little security that I did have in my life pulled out from under my feet, just it hurt so much. And it was obviously my first real heartbreak, I'd probably call it that. And it was probably also the first warning sign, had I been aware that I wasn't comfortable with who I was as an individual or as a man. So seeing this photo again, I remember thinking and I remember feeling, and I wish I could go back and tell myself what I know now, because I definitely would have handled that situation so much better and maybe not have made a lot of the mistakes that I did make. But in saying that, a lot of those mistakes made me, or directed me to where I am today. So it's catch-22 there. But for those obviously who have lacked self-worth, or you may be in that point right now, right? You may feel lost like I did. You may dislike or even hate yourself like I did. And you may be striving for other people's validation to prove that you're worthy. Well, once again, like I did. I didn't realize at that point in time, much like many of you may not realize right now, that you can validate yourself. There's things that you can do to prove to yourself and to focus on why you are worthy, that you don't need other people's opinions or other people's validation or recognition or tick of approval. Right? I would love to go back to 2014, 13, 12, 11 and earlier, to that version of Lachie, and just let him know that, bro, you don't need a partner or drugs and alcohol to escape or to validate you. You're enough exactly where you are. Yes, you can always improve, and you'll continue improving for the rest of your life. But right now, you're exactly where you're meant to be. And the challenges that you're facing are trying to teach you the things that you need to step forward as, the man that you want to be and create what you want from your life. Right? You're putting yourself in these situations to learn, but at the moment you're fucking avoiding it. The longer you keep avoiding it, the longer you keep trying to keep yourself busy, the longer you keep putting your head in the sand, the longer you keep numbing the pain, it's going to keep coming back, because you're focused on the now. You're focused on deflecting what's hurting right now and not going back to what's really causing all of this. And knowing what I know now, when I didn't feel I was worthy, when I didn't value myself, was the fact that I wasn't practicing that. It sounds simple, guys, but if you don't practice self-love, if you don't practice self-care, why on earth would you be good at it? Like, why the fuck would Lachie, 2011, love himself when I'd never been taught to practice it before? It was foreign to me. Definitely taught to hate myself, because I was brilliant at that. But it doesn't matter where you are, gents, and it didn't matter where I was. I hit what was rock bottom for me, and you guys may have hit that, and you may be bouncing back, or you may not have hit that yet. And it can be avoided by starting to practice some of those things, some of those self-love or self-care practices. Right? No matter what's going on in your life, you're worthy. You just may not be focusing on the right things yet. So a question you can ask yourself, a question I ask myself regularly, is what do I need to focus on to believe I'm worthy? Or what has to happen in order for me to feel worthy? What is one thing I did really well today that proves to me that I'm worthy? Right? There are questions, guys. Ask yourself questions, reflect, put in routines and rituals that set aside the time for you to do these things. Because if you keep neglecting it and just hoping that one day you're going to fucking love yourself, or one day you're going to feel confident, that day is never going to come, because you keep going to go, tomorrow, the next day, the next day. It's the same with your fitness. If you're fat and unhealthy right now, and you keep saying, I'll start Monday or I'll start soon, all you're doing is fucking deflecting the result. You're not making a decision. You're not taking ownership for your life. The best time to start is right now. And if you want to learn to love yourself, if you want to feel worthy, start doing things that allow you to do that. Don't go looking for other people to tell you you're worthy. Don't go fucking, looking at social media to find that validation. Look within. Put the time aside. And it's uncomfortable at the start. It's hard at the start. You may not even know where to start. And if you don't know where to start, get in the Man That Can Project Facebook group and ask. Or reach out to me on Facebook and ask. Right? Because the next step for you might be simply just asking that question. Because you're all worthy, gents. We all have the ability to create what we want from our time here. And there's no point, going on being unhappy, being unfulfilled, not enjoying waking up. But that's a choice. It really is. Like, yes, there are circumstances that are out of our control. There are things that may be happening. But if you allow that to define you, you're never going to fucking change. Guarantee you. If you allow those things that you believe are holding you back or the reason why you can't, then you've already sold the fucking rest of your life to yourself. But if you want to fucking change, the opportunity is there. It may take longer for some than others, which is completely okay, but the outcome that you're looking for is the same. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, reach out if you need to have a yarn. If you're in Brisbane, definitely get on board the Strong Man of Value program. It is the last month has been incredible for the gents who are a part of it, and it's only getting bigger and better. Thank you for listening to the Man That Can Project podcast. My name is Lachie Stuart, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful. If you did, please take a moment to rate and review the Man That Can Project on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with our newest episodes. We'll see you again next time.